here now because the audience is officially revolving around me. I feel like you have the best seats in the house yet. You look cute. Okay. So I have, so far in my life, 2 diplomas that have done me really no favors in my life. I have an acting diploma for film and television, and I have a mechanical engineering diploma. So basically right now I'm really good at pretending I know what I'm talking about. But I'm thinking maybe I might go for a 3rd one, considering maybe getting into addiction counseling, so then I can pretend to care about your problems. And you might get to leave my office knowing a little bit more about physics. We don't know, maybe that's the cure for addiction. Maybe the guy comes out and he goes like, oh, I want to smoke this crack, but God gave me goddamn calculus problems. But I'll keep it simple. I don't want to get into like teaching them strength materials or mechanical assembly or bolt tension, because the last thing we need is those people getting more efficient at taking apart cars and bicycles. Laughter is the best medicine. I mean, I went to the children's hospital and laughed at all the sick kids. I feel so much better. I encourage you all to try it. Just test your morals. Or unless you're afraid you can be a piece of shit like me. No, actually, I used to work with kids. I never actually had a problem with like the kids misbehaving. The worst was the parents that thought their kids could do no wrong. So we had this one mom. She just let her kid just do whatever he wants. He's going face down this inflatable slide, and he cuts his face on this Velcro, and she goes, "Oh my God, you haven't made the same." I'm like, "I'm not your babysitter." And then 5 minutes later, the kid does it again, but it's the twin brother. And I want to be mad at her, but I'm thinking, you have 2 kids with the same dad and red uniform, so I have to leave that alone. I think I'm at the age. I don't think I'm gonna end up having kids. I'm almost 39. My biological clock is done. I said engineering diploma, shut up. But if I do, I was thinking, okay, I gotta it's gonna be by accident, so I gotta narrow down, who I have one night stands with. And I figured I'd target anti-vaxxer women because I can put up with 6 or 7 years of child support. So if the kid gets vaccinated, then I gotta pay for art school. Fuck that. But no, so right now, I just hang out with my friends' kids. I get to be the fun uncle, and all my friends' kids I love. But my one friend, I was going to tickle her son's feet, and she flipped the fuck out. She's like, "No, don't do that. That's inappropriate." Like, what are you talking about? Tickle the kid's feet. Kyle, he's still in his 2nd trimester. Okay. I knew that was probably going to be the best joke. I made Sam almost throw up when I tweeted that last week. My last story is actually, it takes place in the Ponoka Hospital, and this is going to be a running moment because it seems to be a prerequisite to get up here. Make people laugh, you got to be fucked up. But no, my story is about, I had my best friend when I spent my time there. Her name was Stephanie, and she's about this tall. She's not a toddler, she's in a wheelchair. She was in the brain injury unit, and so what happened, and I want to actually tell this story because I want to tell her story. She's one of the coolest people I've ever met. She was in a horrible accident. She lost her legs and all her fingers except 2 nubs, and she had brain damage. And she talked a little slow, but she was her comebacks were quick. She was viciously funny and such a good attitude. And basically how we met was we got talking, and she says, "I don't know, I went through all that, and I think God still wants me alive." And I told her, I said, "Yeah," and I looked at her nubs, I said, "It looks like you still want you to be able to masturbate too." We were instantly friends. I was like, okay, cool. I don't know if it's the brain injury or if that was really funny. But my next girlfriend, if she's not laughing at my jokes, might have to take a little venture in oncoming traffic. We became friends. We loved just roasting each other, insulting each other. And I was at a point, this girl's been through hell. I could not I cannot like feel sorry for myself. But one time I was having a bad day and she was like to me, she's like, Kyle, why don't you walk it off? You can still do that. Thanks, bitch. No, we would make a game where we would come up with these funny stories of how she lost her limbs that we would tell to strangers, and we, just be stuff like farm accidents, sun tanning on the railroad track. Her favorite was the getting eaten by a shark, attacked by a shark, surfing. But the one time we were hanging out and we were talking to this couple, and I leave to go to the bathroom for a bit, and I come back, and I feel the vibe right away, like, this couple is like giving me kind of an ugly look. Okay. And then Stephanie goes outside for a smoke. So one lady comes up to me, she's like, you are so lucky she forgives you. Play along. Okay. Look outside, and she's kind of looking at me smiling. And then she says, are the dogs still alive? No, they're done. And if Stephanie had any more of a shit-eating grin, her nose would have been an asshole. So basically, when I was gone, she told these people that my pit bulls got loose, and that I was here visiting every day because I felt guilty. Like, wow. I mean, outside looking in, hilarious. I totally appreciate it. Inside looking out, though, don't normally care what strangers think of me, but, okay, I draw the line that, I ruined your fucking life. So I'm like, okay. So after I let go of her wheelchair down the ramp and she slammed into the wall, I said, we have to have a little talk. And yes, that happened. But before we could, there's a bystander who saw this whole thing, and imagine not knowing that we're friends. This guy is coming running up, he sees her hit the wall, she's bent over, she's also seatbelted in, but she's bent over. He's coming at me, I'm thinking, I'm gonna get my ass kicked, and I deserved it. And all she's saying is, I can't breathe. I'm like, oh my God, what have I done? He comes up and checks on her, and she gets up, she is dying of laughter, like absolutely losing her shit. And this poor guy, I think he forgot for a minute where he was at. You're in an institution, man. You got a couple lunatics. And she looks at him and she's like, you gotta mind your own business, fuck off. Poor guy just wanted to be a good Samaritan, do a good deed, and yeah, he probably never talked to anyone again the whole time he was there. And then, yeah, all she said after that was she looked at me, she says, I'm sorry, but worth it. Thank you very much, guys.